Governor Patterson cut $90 million in SUNY funding without consulting the New York State legislature. This could also be followed by 3 more waves of budget cuts this year alone.
That was the message that echoed across New York State today. Furious SUNY college students, including the ones at University at Buffalo, are fighting back to save their education.
To cut our budget is just ridiculous. If we're trying to invest to build the New York State economy, we should be reinvesting in SUNY, not taking money away. It makes it harder to graduate on time. It makes it harder to take classes you want. Majors are disappearing. This is a really real, and this affects every single student in every single SUNY school.
This is no longer an issue that any student can say, not in my backyard. You know, like, this is something that literally does affect every single student here, over 400,000 people.
Now, how's this going to affect you, the budget cut?
Personally, my parents pay for my my education, and they're having a hard time already with what happened in the stock market and everything. So we're gonna have to make cutbacks, like at home, starting there. They're gonna do everything they can to keep me, going to school.
Hundreds of students showed up in a joint effort to tell Governor Patterson what was on their mind.
It's hard to pay for school, so by cutting budgets, I mean, you're potentially eliminating future leaders that will help, change the world.
If Governor Patterson expects any kind of bright tomorrow, he may want to reconsider where he's bringing down the axe. For Skunk Post, I'm Christie Weber. When is enough going to be enough?
I think it's needless. I think that it could have been avoided, and I think they've had enough toll hikes in the past to, more than cover all the costs.
Just one out of many New York State residents that have had enough of the New York State Thruway Authority emptying their pockets. Here's the catch. That cash is not all going to fixing the roads, but rather a tourist attraction.
$64 million worth of road work in this area is not happening. What that money is being used for is to support non-thruway related activities such as the Erie Barge Canal. One of the most frustrating things in my lifetime was to see that the Thruway Authority took over the control and maintenance of the Barge Canal.
The New York State Thruway Authority's reasoning behind the rise in tolls is less drivers on the road due to high gas prices means they need to charge more. Nobody's buying that story.
And I think all it's doing is keeping toll collectors working and keeping bigwigs where they belong.
5% last year, 5% this year. So they actually doubled the toll this year because they put it on top of what they did last year.
Right.
So it gets confusing. But my curious question is, how much debt does the Thruway Authority actually have?
And that's not the end of it. Our tolls are paying to repair non-tolled roads in New York City.
A couple years ago, the Thruway Authority acquired control of I-287, which is the Cross-Westchester County connector down near New York City. It's paid for by Thruway tolls. It's under the Thruway Authority, but they don't collect the diamond tolls on it. So tell me why that's.
We're repairing those roads.
We're subsidizing repairing those roads.
So after all the complaining, what's the solution?
The Thruway roads should be toll-free and under the state DOT. That's my solution. We shouldn't have a separate authority that we're paying for, all the staff, the bureaucracy there. Someone should be questioning that, right down to the basic core. Why do we have a Thruway Authority?
The people that are for having the tolls can argue that it's a good thing for our state because it's creating revenue from travelers out of state. I still think we need to get rid of the tolls. I'm Christie Weber for Skunk Post. The option of 3D television right in your home will be breaking into the Western New York market by July of this year. So what can we expect?
3D is a version of HD. The HD that we watch now is a 2D, two-dimensional, up and down, and 3D would give you that third dimension. I know that Sony is working with Discovery Channel, Disney, and ESPN to have a relationship for the product and with the delivery of the television signal. I visited the vendors at Toshiba, Panasonic, Sharp, LG, and Samsung in Korea. And visited them, saw their design facilities and all their new SKUs for the 2010 selling season.
Now you have to put goggles on, or are they glasses, or how does that work?
Yes, you have to use glasses. The glasses interact with the television set, and the glasses have to be flat, the lens it is. The lens has to be flat, and there are glasses that are active, where the glasses are actually powered and are a component, and there is also a passive. The passive is similar to the cheesy 3D that you might get from the flat cardboard glasses.
How is this going to change your residential television viewing?
Well, One of the things is that a family will be wearing glasses to participate in it, which kind of makes it more of a movie experience than an everyday watching television experience. I don't know that it's going to ever be necessary to watch the nightly news in 3D.
I don't think I want to see Don Paul anyways in 3D. Pricing has not been sorted out yet, but we should know how much the new 3D TVs will run by next month. If you don't mind wearing the goofy glasses, then I'd say you're in for a pretty cool new viewing experience. I'm Christie Weber for Skunk Post. As we know, UB is a melting pot of students from all different countries. And when a disaster like the Haiti earthquake goes down, they come together as a student association at all walks of life for relief.
We really try to, just how we try to celebrate diversity and culture here, we really try to help out in any way that we can in any sort of disaster.
When the tsunami hit the Philippines, the Filipino American Student Association held a fundraiser to try to collect money to help with the relief over there, and a lot of the clubs came, they showed support, and they helped them in fact organize it. And I know that that's what's going to happen with this as well.
Students from Latin American nations and other Caribbean countries are coming together to really show support for those affected by it.
We have someone on our staff that is looking for an alternative spring break where students, instead of going to Daytona Beach or Panama City, they would go to Haiti and help out to the relief effort. This was similar to the Katrina disaster that we sent people down there to work on.
The UB Student Association does put on 2 big concerts a year, but could there be a third in the works to raise money for Haiti?
I think an entertainer would be great. We do spend a lot of money on attracting talent, and the shows are free for undergraduates. So, I mean, a suggested donation at the door or something along those lines can definitely go a long way, and I think we'll explore something along those lines.
As they said, there may be a charity concert in the future. They're trying to get a hold of national acts in order to raise money for Haiti relief. I'm Christie Weber for Skunk Post. I'm here at the Seneca Niagara Casino right here in Niagara Falls, where Mayhem in the Mist, the series, just wrapped up. Man, was it a night of fights. Some of the highlights from the event: Matt Bordenero from Tonawanda defeated Chris Robinson from Buffalo. Matt made his entrance as Britney Spears, but he didn't fight like her. He now is 1-0, and Robinson falls to 1-1. Here's what Robinson had to say after the fight.
Second round, I definitely took it to him. I mean, I definitely won the second round. And third round, I took him down. There was a groin shot.
Yeah, I saw that. Now that's illegal contact, right?
Yeah, I didn't really throw the knee. It was more of like a placement, trying to see if I could do it without hitting him in the groin.
He slipped.
I didn't throw it hard. I honestly didn't even think it made contact.
Talk about a rough situation to be in. Zach Lane from Niagara Falls continued his undefeated streak as he literally laid out his opponent, James Barris from Ontario. Lang is now 3-0. And there wasn't a single guy in the house that didn't mind watching this fight. It was Bethany Marshall from Virginia versus Christina Domke from Wisconsin in the quickest fight of the evening. The fight ended when Domke didn't tap out of Marshall's chokehold, and after only 20 seconds of the first round, she passed out cold. Marshall is now 4-0. The fight between UFC fighter Corey Hill and local fighter Jason Babu Trzynski was not televised due to UFC contract rules. Hill made a strong return after a 14-month recovery period from one of the worst leg injuries the UFC has ever seen. Although he was defeated, Babu was definitely the man of the night as he got to get in the cage with a UFC fighter. It was a very good fight. How'd you feel about it?
I'm a little disappointed, but it was definitely a great experience getting in there with somebody who's fought in UFC before. He's by far the best opponent I've fought, and I give him a lot of credit, though. Coming back from an injury like he had is just, it's very, he's got a lot of courage, and my hat's off to him.
Where do you go next?
I go and watch whatever footage I can find on this one and, learn from my mistakes and come back stronger.
Now the mayhem will continue May 8th right back here at the Seneca Niagara Casino. For more information on the event, go to RagingWolf.com. We'll be here catching all the action for you. In Niagara Falls at the Seneca Niagara Casino, I'm Christie Weber for Skunk Post.